Now we are going to discuss about the generator expressions. Now we have already discussed about the list comprehension expressions, right? Let's first see how the list comprehension work. Here we have this loop, right? Now we want to take the square of all the I, and now we want to store this in a loop. So we are writing this entire expression and enclose with this square bracket. So this becomes the list comprehensions, right? And all the value will be stored in the list, right? We can see that the value we have. So the expression inside this square bracket is called the comprehension expression. This is called the comprehension expressions, right? And the square bracket result the list. We can easily create a generator. Instead of the square bracket, we can use the parenthesis. Instead of you like So instead of using the bracket, we can use the parenthesis, right? And now this becomes the generator, like over here. We have this generator. Now we have the same expressions, same comprehension expressions, but now this is enclosed in the generator now. Now we can create this G. So this is our generator. Now we can check the type. This is a generator now. Now, similarly, we can now take this each generator into a loop. Will print all the value. But now the generator value, now all the value of the generator has been exhausted. That means there is no longer value exist. So if you again take the loop, this will give you nothing, right? So this is what happens with the generator because it is the iterator. But the list itself is the iterable. There is a difference between iterator and the iterables, right? We can iterate over the same list comprehension multiple times, like over here. In the list comprehension, it doesn't matter. Like here, we are using the same code to create the list comprehension. We can check the type of L, right? Now we can also check the type of this. So this is the generator and this is the list, right? So there is a difference when we change the parenthesis and the bracket. Now let's talk about the nested comprehension. Just like the list comprehension, we can nest the generator comprehension too. Now here we'll use the same example that we have used for the list comprehension. That means we'll be creating a multiplications table. First, let's see how to create the multiplication table using the list comprehensions. So we have these two blocks, start and the end. And now this is our out like inner block. So this is the calculation for the rows. So this is the calculation for the column, not rows. This is the calculation for the column, and this outer cell, this one is calculation for the rows, right? Let's see. When we create the multiplication table, we are getting the value. Now this code, when we change the bracket, now this is the generator. Now when we run this, now when we try to see what it is, but again we do not get the value because this is a generator object. We can iterate through the multiple this list or this multiple generator. So first what we have done is we have converted this generator, this outer generator we have converted. Again, I'm talking about the outer generator. We have the generator inside the generator, right? So we are converting the outer generator to a list. So this is a list now. And when we take the table, like when we print the table, so we'll not see the value because inside the value, inside this generator, there was a generator. So this rows was the like all these the values were the generator now. Here we can see that this is all the generator, right? So to fully materialize or to fully see each value, right, we have to convert this generator as a list too. So here we have done this. So we are taking this table to a loop and then we are converting each row as a list. And now this inside is in a list itself. So now we have the fully value over here. So now we can see the each value, right? But here what we're seeing as here what we can see is the value is 1 to 10. Here we are seeing as, but here you can see that you have a different value over here, right? Let's say that when we again create it, you have a different value. All the values are 10, 20, 30, 40. So here we are seeing all the value as same. So this is not what we wanted, right? And this is happening. This is happening because I and the j was working because we were not calculating the I and the j value over there, right? So if now this j was, so the value of j was 10 every time, and now we are multiplying 10 with each I. So this is what is happening over here. And that's the reason we are seeing these value over here. We can even mix the list comprehension and the generator like here. So at the outer side, it was a generator, but at the inner side, it is a list now. So we just have to materialize the outer side. Now it will become the, and after that, we can see the entire result because this list is calculating every time the value. So when we run this and when we take this in a loop, here we are taking this in a loop, right? Now each item will be the generator, but now we are printing the generator. So this for loop will call the next function, and then when this and now when this outer generator will be called, this entire calculation will happen instantly because that calculation is happening inside the list, right? You can see that this is the actual output we were expecting, right? Now let's try the second example, the Pascal triangle. So here is the pattern you will get from the Pascal triangle. This is the functions we have, right? So this is for the row 0 and the column 0, row 4 and the column 4, right? How the value has been calculated. We have already discussed this examples in the list comprehension. So in the other word, we need to calculate these like Pascal of C of 0, 0, C of 1, 0, C of 1, 1, and so on. So here, for that, we can create, here we have implemented the combo functions, which takes n and the k, right? And create the value, right? And here we are using the list comprehension to do this operation or to calculate these operations. You can see all the Pascal's value. But now we can also use the generator expression over here. So instead of the list comprehension, we are using the generator expressions, right? But again, to materialize all the value, we have to take the loop inside loop. So here we have to take the each value, and then each row has to be converted to a list. So this is what value we are getting, right? So this is how the generator expression work, right? And this is how you can create the generator. Thank you very much.